Hello, Aries. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. Wow, welcome. It's so nice to see you, Aries. I gotta tell you not even tell you, I have to ask you, what is going on? And I say this from a place of love and care, and if you could think of like loving mom energies, that's the energy I have. But I want to know what's going on, because as soon as I started getting ready for this reading, anxiety hit me. Just a wave of it. So what's going on, Aries? Are you doing okay? Did something happen today? It feels like almost like an abrupt rise in anxiety. So, I want you to know, I'm here. I'm thinking about you. If you need to get it out, you can put it in the comments. If it is something more personal, you can email me. My name is Lenor again. But my email is ulaishere@gmail.com. So also, I just want to say thank you for clicking on the reading. If you want to like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I want to know all about this anxiety. I'm feeling it too. I mean, not as much as I thought I would. My daughter's going back to school. She's starting kindergarten. But I'm super excited. I don't know. I'm excited for her. She's amazing. She needs to be out there among her peeps. People who understand her, kids her own age. She probably gets boring with us old fogies here at home. But yeah, so we have today the Ace of Cups energy, which tells me really honestly that with that anxiety, and then we have the Ace of Cups, which is the Grail, right? This is our vessel of those most sacred waters, those life affirming, life supporting, activating, but also destructive and corrosive. Waters they bring life. You add them to any situation with like a seed and some dirt and some soil and some air, and we put that water on there. Oh yes, baby, we got magic, right? But we also can think of, like the Grand Canyon, or any area where river has cut through, right? Water. And of course, over the many iterations of that landscape, there's been probably water there and not there and there and not there. And you can see it. You can see it in the land, because water is destructive. It's corrosive. It reshapes everything it comes in contact with. So we're going to see what's going on. I feel, to me, like this is a breakthrough, because we have the anxiety, then we have the Ace of Cups energy, which tells me it's like something has clicked. Finally, you've been telling yourself for years, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to put up with this. This is going to be the way it goes. And then finally, you get to that point. Right? At some point, hopefully, if you're lucky, we get to that point where we're ready to make that change. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to just start up here before we spin the whole thing around. I want to look at, we have a horse, and it looks like we have a person sitting on the horse. You can see the head here. This would be the body. We have the front of the horse here. This is the body, and this would be the back of it. Now, it also seems like we have some snakes. We have a question mark right here. But it also, to me, reads as the longer I look at it, the less it looks like anything, right? Sometimes it'd be like that. But the name Guy, I don't know, or maybe some guy, but it looks like G-U-Y to me. G-U-Y. Also a question mark. Okay. So we have the horse. We have the cart with the horse behind as well. You can see kind of the box there. So this is the Chariot. This is hard work. This is like going all in on something. I do feel like, and as we turn this, we also have two people, right? Hands open and votive. There's even like a little sprout coming out of, like, this person's holding something. There's a sprout. So it seems to me that you have a partner of some kind, maybe a business partner, maybe a spouse, family member, good friend, a work partner, whatever. I do feel like in this next period of time, there's going to be some intense work happening. Like, I don't know, something happens with the house, you have to do an emergency, fixer-upper. I'm sorry, I don't mean to even say that out loud. As I was saying it, I was like, Lenore, I have a house. I know that's like my ultimate. You could tell me all kinds of things all day long, and I would be like, that's an inconvenience. I'll deal with it. I don't like it, but whatever. You wake up to a disaster in your house. You wake up to, something happening, water in the basement. And I can't believe I just said that one either. What am I doing? I'm just like speaking evil into the earth right now. I am sorry. Disregard. Right? Get out of here. But yeah, it is. It's the worst feeling. Waking up to something and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about this as being a possibility today, but here it is. Here we are. And, it doesn't excite you. It's not exciting. But I do feel like you have some kind of partnership, right? You have somebody you can rely on. Now, they're the dog here next to the work. So that tells me loyal, devoted. You both ride for each other. Okay? Now, is this your number one? I don't know. It could be. It could be like your husband, your wife. You ride for each other forever. You work together. You have a business. Nothing is going to stop that progression. But no, it could also be that this is like somebody at work. You really trust them. You've been there for years together. Nobody else is infiltrating that bond, right? So I do feel like you have somebody beside you. I feel like this is going to make the work more efficient. It's going to get done properly. There's, although this feels anxious, it feels like an inconvenience. It feels like, why is this happening to me? What the heck? Everything was going good. You get through it. You get through it quickly and it works out in your favor even. And I think it really also is just another confirmation of this interconnectedness with this person. And I do feel like this is kindredness. I mean, really deep bond, right? I don't necessarily feel like there's a lot of romance in this particular dynamic, or at least this scenario. So it could be that this is the beginnings of, like, if this is your marriage, if you've been married for any amount of time, right, over some years, you know that there are periods of time where life just, for whatever reason, gets in the way. You are busy. You have kids, possibly. You have activities. You have, work, money, bills. And that's not even beginning with all the self-work, the self-care, the maintaining friendships and family dynamics. And I mean, my goodness, I'm tired just thinking about it. My goodness. But, to have somebody that you can trust, wow, that to me is a huge blessing. I don't know about you. I mean, you are an Aries, and, you know, my bestest friend in the whole universe happens to be an Aries. And sometimes I know you're watching, Mama. I love you, Scalamoo. You are my total babe. I love you. But, you know, I know that what's the word? I know it's not always easy for you to trust people. I get it. I don't trust nobody. I don't. And that's terrible to say, and I say it with a straight face. You know, some of us have had experiences where the people who are supposed to take care of us from a very young and vulnerable age, you know, preyed upon us, abused us, did terrible things to us, you know. And how can you trust somebody after that? But it's something that I'm working on, because what the heck is life if, like, everything you do, I mean, honestly, you kind of have to do it for yourself, because it's like you want to trust people, but it's not their stuff. Nobody's going to do it like you're going to do it. Nobody is going to care about it like you care about it. You can only control how much you put into it, not anybody else. What a burden that is. It is. I get it. Listen, I'm raising a kid. I have a family. I have a house. I have land. And I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging. If you knew me 10 years ago, you know what's up. You know what you know. I'm not bragging. It's a lot of work. And a business on top of all that. It's a lot of work. And there's, you know, you don't have help. A lot of us in this situation, we don't have family to help us take care of our kids. We don't have people to, you know. And I'm not complaining either, because I know, if especially you're in my generation, the millennials, I'm an old millennial, almost, you know, end of the, what are they called, Generation X. A lot of us just don't have anybody to call on. There's nobody. Have you been in the situation where you look at your contact, like the emergency contact, and you're like, I don't know who to put on this for myself, let alone your most precious being in the whole world, your kids? Who do I trust to put on there? Well, you know, her dad, my husband, of course, but who else? I don't know. So I feel like a lot of us understand this, right? And maybe it is a blessing to understand that you're out here by yourself. Nobody's going to save us. Nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to save me. Guess who's going to do the work? I am. You are. So I feel like for you, yeah, you don't trust people. Not more than you have to, right? You can't distrust everything. I mean, I guess you could, but I don't know how you would exist. I'm sure it happens, you know. I know it happens. I know it happens. I know that paranoid place. You can't trust nothing. But in this situation, you are one of those people, the rare people that, yeah, has formed a bond that you can actually trust this person. And you can say, and say it with me, I don't trust nobody about anything except for this one person, because I know they're going to do the work. And maybe the scope of what you trust them with is narrow. Maybe it is just work. Maybe you only trust them with your kids. You know, whatever it is. But I do feel like this is a bond that is growing. It is strengthening. It is maturing. Okay? This is going to be a lifelong partnership. This friendship, this work person, whoever they are. Now, I do have to say, we have a bird overhead. You can see here's the head, here's the body. wings. Now, here's the house, okay? We also have, it looks like the number 271. 271. And it looks like 2004, I think, 2004. 2004. All right. Now, within the household, something to do with candy. I don't know. There's something to do with candy, and it's not, like, supposed to be there, or, like, you find candy in your house. Why is it candy? Why do they keep saying candy? I almost feel like it's like you find a stash of candy, or you find like a wrapper of a candy, and it takes you back. I don't know. I feel like being pulled, like you see this thing, and all of a sudden I just get this image of a hand grabbing you by the shirt, like in the chest, like just grabbing it and pulling you through a hole. And that to me is saying like you're slipping back into memories or a nostalgia. Like there is a real sentimentality here. It almost kind of, I just feel like it's almost like one of those, I'm not trying to scry what exact candy it is, but it does to me almost feel like not a butterscotch, but like a caramel kind of candy, or like those little nut roll things, or I don't know, like an older candy. But it's weird because it's like you never buy these. You never buy them, but they remind you of somebody in the family. And I feel like this is 100% them coming through to you. It's like they set it on your kitchen table, and said, hey, I need to talk to you. But I feel that there is a sense of, helping you see a way towards making more out of the work you're doing, is what I keep saying. And we have the question mark, but it's also like a harvesting tool. Yeah, sailboat, saying goodbye. Traveling maybe for seasonal work. It almost felt like I grew up in Sacramento, East Sacramento mostly. And there were quite a few people I knew when I got into my teens and early 20s that would go up to Alaska to work seasonally on the boats, right? Fishing and crabbing and, whatever, deckhands. And you've all probably seen those shows, like the Deadliest Catch, I think is the one, the OG one. I used to watch that back in the day. But I almost feel like it's something like this, where it's a very intense and brutal work. Very like, I'm going out to the, oil rig for like, whatever, a week on, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, whatever it is. And I feel like it's like you more than somebody else. I'm trying to figure out, like, is this you saying goodbye to somebody who's going to work, or if they're saying goodbye to you? Because to me, it almost feels like you're pulling in a sense of control of your own life in this movement. And so to me, it almost feels like you might be taking a job that takes you away from home a little bit here and there, or maybe quite often, maybe you're getting into like trucking or something like this. But I feel like underneath it all, there's such a passion for adventure. that you are starting to remember about yourself. And I think that's where it is. I wonder if this person was the one that's coming through. I wonder if they were somebody who traveled a lot. And I almost wonder if they were in the military. And maybe they actually went to theater, right? They went to war. But there is a sense of adventuring, of restlessness. And I feel like you have the same thing, but it's almost like you've never been able to explore it fully. Like a little bit. Like, yeah, I mean, you've left the block, right? I remember when I was younger, I don't meet a lot of people. I mean, I do through my daughter's stuff. But I remember when I lived in the city, and I've lived in a few cities, meeting people who had never left like a 2 or 3 block radius, which, maybe that's a little different now because of technology. But back in the day when, there were people who didn't have computers at home or internet. Lots of people. I lived in a building one time. I think I was the only one that had the internet. And not that long ago. I mean, this is like 15 years ago. And I just feel like it's like the idea of sitting still. But at the same time, I feel like because of circumstances, maybe you have had to, or you've decided. I mean, it's not that you have to. You've made the choice to really like be where you're at and do what you need to do. So that leads me to believe family, right? Because that's one of the biggest motivators, money and family, to stay in one place, to do the thing. If you are a person who wants to be on the wind, every time you hear the train go by, you think, man, I need to be out there. I need to get me like a little camper or something, hit the road, but I do feel like this might be able to kind of itch that spot deep within, right? Now we have the number 8. And it looks like we have the word. I'm going to look at it this way. It looks like it says bad. I'm just going to say, I don't like to say something's bad, but I almost kind of feel like, and there's a heart as well. Oh, and a crab. Oh, and a crab. Come on, Aries. Stay away from them Cancers. They're my favorite for well, the closest people in my life. I love, not the closest, but some of them, yes. My husband is a Cancer, among other people in my life. But they're difficult people. I love you, Cancers, if you're listening, but gosh, are you difficult. I feel like you have a Cancer person, maybe they're a Cancer person, or they have a pretty significant Cancer placement. I do feel like there's something about them, like bad boy, bad girl energy. I think it really draws you in. I feel like on the surface or like in a logical place, it's like, you're not going after that. You don't want the trouble and the drama and the, whatever, having to deal with the police and all that kind of stuff. But there's something about them. Oh my gosh. What is it about them? I don't know. They shake things up. Maybe, though, maybe it's a dash of self-destructive stuff, right? You get to a point, you're doing really good, you're locked in, you're making money, you're doing, wonders with this partnership you're in. You're getting to a place where maybe you're able to travel, you're doing work that's not easy, it makes you feel like you're accomplishing something. And then you meet some person who's going to mess up the credit, who's going to treat you like you're always wondering, are we good? What are they doing? What are they thinking? Are they cheating? Are they, do they even really care about me? Like, listen, we've all been in those situations. We've all had friendships like this. We've all had relationships like this. Hopefully not for too long. But you get into those cycles and it starts to feel normal to wonder constantly, is this person going to be true to me? That should not be a concern. I'm sorry. It shouldn't be a concern all the time. Because who cares? Everybody's capable of making bad decisions, doing things that are hurtful, being snaky snakes, right? But that's not about you. It's not about me. It's a mind prison to be worried about these things, to be worried about what somebody's doing, to be worried if they're coming home, to be worried if, can I trust them to, borrow the car to go to work, or are they going to go, pick up or something? You shouldn't have to be living that way. We've all been there to some degree. I'm not saying it's to the point where it's like you're worried, every time they leave the house, but we shouldn't be living in these places where the people that we let into our sacred spaces, we don't even know what the heck is going on with them. That is not a normal place to be dwelling. Maybe it is normal. Maybe it is. Maybe I shouldn't say normal. It's not what I want for you, babe. If you were my daughter, if you were my son, if you were my best friend, my sister, my brother, my beloved one, I would tell you, you don't deserve that. Don't live like that. I've lived like that, and you know what it did? My hair started falling out. Dude, I mean, come on. Over what? Over what? It's not worth it. I promise you. So when you get that text, when that person comes sniffing around, I'm telling you, you listen to Mama Lenor over here, or Sister Lenor, that crazy lady Lenor, whoever, whatever. I do. I hope people be like, that lady is crazy. Crazy. But you know what? Sometimes she says something that makes sense. Once in a while. But yeah, you don't deserve it. Don't do it. Don't answer. Don't let them in. Shut the door. Shut the windows. Hide under the bed. Act like nobody's home. Act like they're there to take the car, repo it. That's a bad feeling. I don't wish that on anybody. I'm going to, no. Get out of here, energy. But don't let those people in. Keep focused, Aries. Keep focused. I know that you can because, dude, you're on the come up. It's all happening. Don't let those sneaky little weasel energies. No. It's like the kind of person that you get back together and you start waking up and they ate all the kids' snacks for school. Which, listen, my daughter's going back to school. I'm thinking about, whatever things that she'll actually eat and all this. If I woke up and somebody ate all of her snacks, my eyes are twitching. Both of them. I just lost both they're just twitching. I'll tell you what, don't let that kind of person in your life. All right, anyways, let's go. We're going to do our 3 lucky numbers. 31. And just to be clear, if anybody's wondering, because you probably know my husband over at DIDNT See Tarot, he did not eat my daughter's snacks. I'm not mad at him. Number 1. And really, are they really her snacks if Dad wants them? No, I'm kidding. No, he would never. If anybody's eating somebody's snacks, it might be me. 22. Let's just be real. My husband, Paul, is amazing. And his daughter is number 1. That's like how just a wonderful man. Wonderful dude. Wonderful dude. Go check him out. He's got also this other channel he just started, and it's doing great. It's called Tarot Logic. Go check that one out. Tarot Logic with Paul from DIDNT See Tarot, who happens to be my husband, who does not eat snacks that are not his. Let's go ahead. We're going to stop where it feels right. Ooh. And it says, relationship. Here we go. I call in the infinite power of love to take over this union in every way. May it now fully belong to the divine. Let it unfold in the perfect way for each of us. I needn't fear letting go of control. My needs are always abundantly met. My needs are always abundantly met. Heck yeah. All right. Well, Aries, I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm not going to do this outro for too long. But I just want to let you know, I love you. I hope that you take care of yourself. I have this, I'm sorry, I got distracted. I have this little, I pinched my finger, I suppose, somewhere, and I have dirt in my nail. I'm so sorry. It's gross. I've been out in the gardens, it happens. Something happened to my finger, though. So, anyways, yeah, if you want to like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you have a prayer request, you can put that in the comments. I'm starting to think about what we're going to be for Halloween. I'm so stoked. I'm not like the primo Halloween person because, listen, I just live my life like it's Halloween pretty much every day, as you can imagine. And not like, I'm not like a dud where I won't dress up. Of course I dress up. But yeah, so we're doing the like trunk or treat type of things. Like, if you're older like I am, and I just figured out what they were a few years ago because I have a kid now, you, instead of going to house, a bunch of people park in a parking lot. They have candy and they dress up their car like whatever. Last year we did, I think it was, I can't even remember. It was a giant spider, I think. We turned the car into a spider. This year, my daughter wants to be an Enderman for the car truck or treat thing. And if you don't know what that is, don't worry. I barely know either. It's from a video game. And she wants to do the Enderman, the Netherworld portal, which I know what it looks like. I know what these things are a little bit, but anyways, this is her idea, and I think we'll probably do it. But yeah, I'm also thinking about what else do I want to be? What other costumes can I throw together? So I'm interested. What are you thinking about doing or being for Halloween if you do partake? And yeah, I love you. We're going to talk later. Good night. Good night. Good night.